All right, no theme song today. What the heck, man? Does this one work? None of them work. Okay. So much for paying for a service. All right. Let me do some sharing. Thankfully, here in a couple of hours, I'm going to be getting ugh. All right. So I'm obviously having some difficulties today. All right. A little bit more, Sharon. Thank you for being patient. I appreciate it. All right. Morning, Chris. Good to see you. The theme song didn't work today, so I'm hoping the other stuff does. Let's see, it does. Yeah, okay. So, welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I'll be your host. And if you're here, please say hello. Whether you're watching the live or the rewatch, good morning, Gary. Let me send a quick text message. Okay. Sorry, it kind of been a morning. I'll get a little bit more light for you guys. There we go. Before we get started, I want to talk about communication a little bit. Good morning, Patricia. It's good to see you. You guys like my new background? I'm not going to actually be able to leave my desk here. I thought it was going to work, but there's two windows right here and the cats can get to them, and all of this will be knocked down. So, nope, can't put it here. I have to find somewhere else. So that's okay. But I wanted to talk about communication a little bit. There's only one true form of communication, and that's this. Okay? This little 2-inch octangular thing in your face. Okay? It's the only way to really communicate. Texting, Facebook, all these other things are convenience. Okay? So let's stop using it as a way to communicate. Keep it as a way of convenience. Okay? Convenience. Even just talking on the phone, you lose some things. Okay? There's something about seeing a person. If you can, because I do a lot of stuff, but I talk to people on Zoom all the time. In fact, my phone tells me what apps I use the most. And I use Zoom like twice as much than I do any other app. Communication resolves all problems. Crap. Like that. Well, thanks, Patricia. That's funny. Seems like it, don't it? Yeah. But it's true, communication does not resolve all problems. It doesn't. It doesn't. Not until there's action involved. Right? We can communicate all we want, but until we actually do something, it doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean anything. It's just an idea. It's just a thought. It's just a process. It's just a belief until it gets put into action. Otherwise, what you're doing is a non-entity, right? So communication's great, okay? But that doesn't solve your problems. It's the communication is the portion where you become aware of the problem. That's where you decide on factors. Who's going to take what blame? Just get blame just get blame out of your vocabulary. And I'll tell you right now. Hi, Ingrid. You popped in there. I didn't see. Did I say hi? See, I don't even know anymore. So today we're talking about shedding our victimhood. And this is a fantastic topic for me today because I am feeling victimized over the last few days. I don't want to say victimized. That's pretty deep. But I go through these phases where it's like, it isn't. I like to see the fruition of what I do. I think anybody does. And I haven't been seeing it lately. And I think that has to do with my focus. And so what I'm going to do is my therapist pointed out, she said, Dion, you've been going through a lot of things in the last couple of weeks. Now's a good time to probably sit down and reassess. I'm like, oh, thank you. See, that one little simple idea changed my mind on my victimhood. I was trying to figure, because I knew I was beating up on myself. It wasn't anybody else. There wasn't anybody doing anything to me. I just felt that way. Were there sets of circumstances? Yeah, there was. I was moving and my feelings got hurt by some things. And then my daughter sent me a pretty messed up email and it hurt me, man. Especially when it's my daughter. I love her so much and she's just so angry. And I get it. I understand her anger, actually. All right. So there's this thing called intrusive thoughts. Who gets those? We can all just go ahead and raise our hand. Intrusive thoughts, right? Where, oh, you know what? That person they probably don't like you anymore. And our mind starts to go to these things. And then we start to create, when it comes to that, we start to create our own problems. And if you are dealing with PTSD or ADHD or bipolar and you're not doing something about it, this will come in mass effect. Okay? It came to me in mass effect. I did not know I had PTSD. Okay? I'm sure everybody around me knew that I did, but I could not see it. And I had my first real big anxiety attack, and I was seeing a therapist. And it took my wife and my therapist a couple months to convince me that I had PTSD. Yeah, I wouldn't admit it. My thought process was, you know what? There's a lot of people out there. See, the Navy turned me down. They turned down my psych test, which is probably for the best. I would have been horrible. I would have gotten dishonorably discharged. I can tell you that. There's no way I would have been able to handle that. My PTSD wouldn't have been able to do it. Yet at the age of 19. Actually, I was 17 because I was I could go into the Army and stuff at the age of 17 because I had divorced my parents. So I was my own adult at the age of 17. Um, I wasn't allowed to buy alcohol, but I did anyway. And this can be a really hard part because there were some things that, you know, it's a fact. My parents couldn't handle me and they put me away. That's just a fact. Okay. But there needs to come a day when we stop blaming everybody for who we are. Okay. This was probably the biggest blow to my pride. Because I've been working on my emotions since I was 12 years old. Okay. I'm 52 now. Yeah, see, and I respect that, Chris. See, this right here is why I didn't think I had PTSD, because people like Chris were going in and they were protecting our country, and that means something to me. Okay, my freedom. Ooh, don't try and take away my freedom. You're gonna find my PTSD at the end of a stick, and I'm gonna beat you with it. Okay, you try and put me away for something I didn't do, or if I didn't do anything. Because, see, I didn't do anything and they put me away. I had not done anything illegal. I went to court 33 times during my youth. Not once was I on probation. Not once. Okay. Me and Commissioner Allen, we were like this. I'm not kidding. Commissioner Allen, she was my parent. She was the one that told me what to do. So anyway, we're getting back to shedding our victimhood. All right. So this can be even more difficult if you are diagnosed with PTSD, bipolar, or ADHD. It can make shedding your victimhood a process. And it is a process, my friends. It is. It doesn't just go away. I've been working hard on this for years. For years, I have. Right? Yeah. Sometimes I think back on my childhood and I don't compare that's why sometimes it's hard for me to listen to other people's stories. Because I'm like, well, you had a dad. My dad never loved me. Never. Not my biological father, nor the man that raised me. None of them showed me any love. I don't think they knew how. I don't think they knew how to show me love. The man that raised me thought money was how he would get my love. And I told him, I don't want your fucking money. I just want a hug. He couldn't do it. All right. Yeah. Maybe that's why when we get here, we're so aching for it, right? Yesterday, I was talking about being wanted and needed and loved. And here we are again, talking about being wanted, needed, and loved. Yeah. It's a basic principle for all of us. Okay? My thing is this, is there are people around me that want, need, and love me. But I don't focus on them. I focus on the people that don't like me. And I can't do that to myself. Okay? I have to learn how to focus on the right things. And that could be tough, especially when you're caught up in it. But let's get to the reading. There is a reading behind this. January 23rd, I'm reading out of A Day at a Time. This is Hazelden literature. I love Hazelden literature. I do. I'm a huge fan of Hazelden because they have that old AA style. I know, huh, Chris? They don't like me either. At least you and I like each other, right? Right. All right. Chris and I are going to start our own mutual admiration society. Is that cool? I love you, Chris. You know what I think it is, Chris? I think we're just old cusses and we think nobody likes us, but that's just not true. It's not true. All right. We tend to think people don't like us because we tell them the truth, and that's not true. People respect that shit. They do. They really do. Most of the time, they respect it. And I think that I would rather somebody respect me than like me anyway, because I can help that person out more with respect than I can them liking me. Right? Because it isn't that what it's about? Helping another person. See how we can get out of our victimhood. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of people like us, Chris. There is. All right. We must never be blinded by the futile philosophy that we are just hapless victims of our own inheritance, of our life experience, and of our surroundings. That these are the sole forces that make our decisions for us. So I spent most of my life making my decisions based off the fact that I hated other people. That cannot lead to a good life, man. That will not lead to a good life. I needed forgiveness in my life. First of all, I needed to forgive myself for placing myself in those situations. See, my parents only reacted to what they saw, what was going on. There were other ulterior motives. There were, but at the basis of it, they didn't know what to do. They're 30 years old. The thing is I didn't understand this because my whole life nobody feared me and suddenly everybody around me was afraid of me, and I didn't understand why. Because I didn't feel like I had changed. I didn't understand. I didn't get it. I did not know. I did not know how to fit into a normal family structure. I was not taught how, and I was not born. I was not born with the resources to do that. None of we alcoholics, and I know, yes, I'm speaking on alcoholics. We're born that way. Okay. Um, I don't know how the rest work because I'm not a doctor, but I do know that we are born with it. This is not the road to freedom. We have to believe that we can really choose. We can choose to be the victim. Okay, that's what I was doing yesterday. That's why I was depressed, because I was choosing to be the victim. Yeah, Bible says forgive. I'm not big on the Bible, but anything Chris says to me is gold. So we have to believe that we can really choose. As addicted person, we lost our ability to choose whether we would pursue our addictions. Yet we finally did make choices that brought about our recovery. Do I believe that becoming willing, I have made the best of all choices? It's a great question. Have I made the best of all choices? Nah. No. No, I have not. Have I made better choices? Oh, yeah. I have made better choices. Right? Now I try and hang around with the people that want, need, and love me. Okay? The other part of me is just looking for pomp and circumstance. Okay? Our brain will do things like, well, where's mine? I see these people. Where's mine? These these people got their kids back. Why do mine still hate me? You know? And you're going to go through things like that too. And we're going to ask why. We have to remember, and this is very, very hard. This is very hard. When we ask why, we are arguing with God. Okay? You're still going to do it. I still do it. I just want you to remember that you're arguing with God. Even if you don't feel like you're arguing, you are arguing with him. Okay? But don't get on yourself. You're trying to discover something. And the fact that you're even in that place and at that position is fucking progress. That is progress. Is it not? Yeah, at least a teenager. My kids are all still teenagers, like their dad. I can't. They're like me, man. I can't. So, yeah. See, I'm not the only one. I am not terminally unique. Do I like the fact that that's happening to Ingrid? No, I love Ingrid. I pray for you all the time, my dear. Do I feel a little bit better vicariously? Yeah, I'm being honest. See, even though Ingrid's going through that too, she's okay right now, so she can experience that with me, right? We're not all sick on the same day. That's what this is about. I'm into progress. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, progress. It's all we got. It's all we got. And I am searching for progress today. I'm searching for it. I need to. May I shed the idea that I am the world's victim, an unfortunate creature caught in a web of circumstances, inferring that others ought to make it up to me because I have been given a bad deal on this earth. We're always given choices. May God help me choose wisely. Today I'll remember God is not a puppeteer. Let's reinforce this with the big book real quick. I'm going to read from page 82. Maybe. Oh, that's 81, Dion. That's why you're not finding it. Sorry. Okay. Yes, there's a long, I'm starting at the top of 83. Yes, there is a long period of reconstruction ahead. We must take the lead. A remorseful mumbling that we are sorry won't fill the bill at all. We ought to sit down with the family and frankly analyze the past. This is not what I was going for, but I'm going to finish it. As we now see it, being very careful not to criticize them. Their defects may be glaring, but the chances are that their own actions are partly responsible. So we clean house with the family, asking each morning in meditation that our Creator show us the way of patience, tolerance, kindliness, and love. All right, here it is. And this is what I wanted to reinforce this with. Now, this just doesn't go with the ninth step. This is ninth step. This is life right here. There may be some wrongs we can never fully right. We do not worry about them if we can honestly say to ourselves that we would right them if we could. So how does this fit? Ninth step is all about forgiveness. Okay. And the way that we're going to get through this is by forgiveness from ourselves. I need to answer this. Hello? It is. Okay. All right. I will see you out front. Thanks, bud. Internet, 20 minutes. All right. Thank you very much for letting me do that. All right. So the reason that it works is because this is about forgiveness. Right? There may be some, okay. Some people cannot be seen. We send them an honest letter, and they may be a valid postponement in some cases, but we don't delay. This is what I'm trying to get to. As God's people, we stand on our own feet. We do not crawl before anyone. Don't crawl before anyone, including our victimhood. including our victimhood. No, we do not bow. Nope. See, I'm stealing this from a live song. It goes, I fear no man and I fear no pain. And I don't. There is not a person out there that I fear, except for drug dealers. Right? That's something different. So we must shed our victimhood. That means that we must stand on our own 2 feet as children of God and say, this is my recovery. You must stake it. You must own it. It is yours. That is where your dopamine is going to come in. You can fight this shit with dopamine. You can. There's ways of doing it. But the best way to do it is to help another person. I don't feel like it was an accident that God picked this topic today. It was not an accident. I needed to hear this. And I find that when I need to hear it, that there's a lot of other people that need to hear it. All right. Good job, Gary. Good job. It's progress. You walk in them airports. Right? All right. Good job. That's progress. So let's go and claim spiritual progress before we get out of here, huh? My tech is on the way, and I got a noon meeting coming up. I can do both. You watch. I'll do both. I ain't missing my fucking noon meeting. All right. We are claiming progress. Ready? Good job. All right. We're all done. Now we have claimed spiritual progress. We can get on with our day. We can stay out of our victimhood. I will do my best. I'm still kind of there. Progress. Right? So I'm going to focus on the things that I can get done today. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody. I love you. Peace out and have a day.